Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 29th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Apologize, the camera's a little bit different. I forgot to buy the USB-C adapter when I got the new phone for the camera to work better, so I might be a little bit off, so I apologize. But hopefully it works okay, and it might be tracking my face just for better resolution. We'll see. In any event, lots to discuss. Google's September 2023 helpful content update is done. I have some theories on who it targeted. SGE got some algorithm updates. More on that. Links as a top ranking factor. Google spoke about that. Bing is hiding ads again in search. Bing chat ads have a higher click-through rate. Google's 25th birthday was this week, and so much more. So definitely stay tuned. Okay, so first up, Thursday morning, Google has said they completed the rollout of the Google September 2023 Google Helpful Content Update. In my opinion, okay, so this update started on the 14 days ago, so on the September 14th through September 28th. It was about exactly 13 days, almost 11 hours of a rollout. This is a really weird update because the tools really didn't show much around this. They pretty much was less volatility than a normal Google volatility week prior to any Google confirmed updates, which is very unusual. Core updates are usually picked up by this. Helpful content updates haven't been. But if you look at the SEO chatter, you take Google tracking tools, no offense to them, but SEMrush, Rank Ranger, all of them, every single one was pretty low until like yesterday or whatever. And if you look at the SEO chatter, with the chatter going on in the SEO community itself, you'll see it was significantly off the charts, like way off the charts. And this reminded me of the Penguin update. When Google released the Penguin update, it affected the SEO community much more than the general wide website community where all websites are out there. It seemed to me, and this is what the Helpful Content Update originally was supposed to do, target search engine first content, SEO first related content, where SEOs were writing content that they knew would rank well in search. This specifically seemed to target that type of content, SEO first, search engine first related content, which is why the SEO community has picked up on it more than the tools that track general ranking changes and the general community. Nobody's really talking about it outside of the SEO community, which is very interesting. So again, that's my theory. There's a lot of things you could do around this. Google has their documentation or what you could do to actually help your website rank better after this. Think about your users only. Don't think about will this content rank. If you can write like that and not care if that content will rank, and think about is this content something my users want to read and what do they want to read about? That is more important than saying will this content rank? Will it help my revenue? It's more about will my users want to read this content and what do they want to read about it? Just so you know, we covered this numerous times over the week, so I have a lot of stuff in here that if you want to cover it, you can. But there's some information. Again, the tools were calm. The chatter was insane. So keep that in mind. And there was some chatter around Google may roll this update back. That's not happening. John Mueller said it's not going to happen. He basically said, and let me quote him, "I really don't see a rollback happening, and I agree it is sad to see people put their hearts and passion into making something and not seeing long-term results. But things can be both heart-made and not as helpful as makers want." He added, "To be direct, I don't see us rolling this update back. Also, none of this was done to spite anyone. We want to highlight fantastic, helpful, unique, compelling people-first content in search, and we will continue to work on our algorithms to move in that direction." So that's not being rolled back. On the algorithm side, Google has rolled out some updates to the search generative experience. Not many people are covering this, but two main things Google released here on the algorithm side. One is it now responds with higher quality, more accurate responses based on a lot of factors. Didn't really go through it. And the second thing is that it goes ahead and it will write responses on sensitive topics based on the quality and safety principles. So they're being more safe with their types of responses to sensitive topics. Google also released the about this results for the SGE responses, which basically say the overview was generated with the help of AI. It's supported by info from across the web and Google's knowledge graph and a collection of info about people, places, and things. Generative AI is experimental and info quality may vary, yada, yada, yada. So the about this result also launched in the SGE, and also they released SGE teens as well. That was announced yesterday as well. Links are no longer part of the top 3 ranking signals, according to Gary from Google, who said this at PubCon. Initially, years ago, they said it was part of the top 3. I think it was like, I forgot his name. He basically said link, content, rank brain, and like links. Now, links are probably not part of that, and that's what he said. Of course, we've been covering this for a while, where Google has been saying backlinks have lost significant signals, or less. Backlinks are less significant in terms of a ranking factor over the years, and we've seen this over and over again from Googlers saying this, so this is nothing really new. Gary from Google also said that comment sections on websites can be good. He said this also at PubCon. He's not really talking from a ranking factor, but it helps build a community. He's been saying this for years. It also can be bad if you have bad comments and really, really horrible comments and it takes up most of your page. It could cause issues. But in general, it could be good for building a community. This was an interesting one. It probably was taken out of context, but John Mueller said removing content from your website doesn't make the other content rank higher. And technically, that might be not true because Google said the opposite many, many times. That removing content can make other content. If you have low quality content bringing down your other content, it could overall make your other content that's high quality rank better because your bad content might be bringing down the site as a whole. But he's probably talking in a very specific example, so just keep that in mind. John Mueller also said they won't stop giving SEO advice to SEOs despite people using it to create made-for-Google sites. One person complained, it is somewhat amusing that made-for-Google content has become an issue at Google, as if you all aren't the primary driving force. While I agree, a little self-reflection wouldn't hurt. John replied to that saying, yes, it's also awkward that we're writing how to do well in Google, explaining algorithms, giving technical tips, but even with a minority that abuses it, it doesn't mean that we should stop helping sites that get the most out of search. Sometimes we forget that web is more than MFAs made for. Google gave some SEO tips this week. It says, keep in mind it's important to not have your primary important content out. Keep it out of the before and after CSS pseudo-elements. Google doesn't really want to see that content in there. It's going to ignore content within the before and after CSS pseudo-elements. Keep that in mind. Google has updated its spam policies and its ranking system guide, basically to talk about what's called child sexual abuse material, CSAM content. Google's now saying they will always remove such content when it's identified, and it will demote all content from sites with a high proportion of such content. So keep that in mind. Google's documentation change. Google has always done that. They just updated the docs to clarify that. Google has updated some of their previous blog posts that Daniel Weisberg has written from Google. One was interesting because it changed the way that the charts in terms of how you can analyze chart drops, like seasonal ranking changes or technical issues or manual actions or technical issues with algorithm updates or reporting glitches. And the charts are way different. You can see them here. I mean, they kind of show the same thing. I think the reason the charts are different is because they didn't use an image tool to create them. They actually used SVG image to have to plot the data directly in the thing, so it's a little bit different. But they did update the debugging drops in Google search traffic and improving SEO with a Search Console bubble chart blog posts. Now they're actual help documents as opposed to blog posts. So another very, very concerning email was released from the DOJ investigation. This was from Jerry Dishler, who is the Google Ads VP, runs all of Google Ads. And the email goes through a bunch of things. Basically, it was sent to the Chrome team, asking them to inject queries ASAP from Google Chrome in order to increase their ad revenues because they have to hit their targets so the team is not upset and Wall Street's not upset. He goes on to say other ranking tweaks if there are other ranking tweaks we could push out very quickly, and he also mentions the new Google mobile design that wasn't released yet that he said will be a very revenue positive change for the Google Ads team. But those aren't out yet, and they need to go ahead and push these. This was in 2019. Very revealing email. I posted it this morning at 7:05 a.m. on Eastern at the Search Engine Roundtable, so definitely take a look at that. This comes right after all this stuff around how Google is raising ad prices in an auction model to generate more revenue. So keep that in mind. Google Ads has gained a feature where you can actually share reports. That's not new, but set our expiration for when that report will no longer be shared. So you now have this cool feature where you can actually go ahead and share these reports and say, I don't want to share this after this date. This was spotted by Thomas Excel as well as PPC Greg, so nice find there. Google Ads updated their policies to say they may suspend advertisers for non-fulfillment issues. So if you are having issues over not fulfilling your ads or your orders and stuff like that, you're not fulfilling orders and stuff like that, and people are upset with you, Google may go ahead and actually suspend your account because of it. Microsoft Advertising a while back was testing hiding the ad label so it's really hard to see. We covered that a few weeks ago. Now it seems like they're actually removing the ad label completely from the ad itself. Here's a spotted by Frank Satman. You can see here's a screenshot of that. You cannot find the ad label anywhere. It's above where it says ad related to Microsoft Advertising, but the ad itself has no ad label at all on it. It should have an ad label on it. I'm not sure what's going on, if it's a bug or it's just Microsoft being sneaky with their ads. Microsoft Advertising is also going to be launching Copilot to help advertisers create ads in the Microsoft advertising platform, part of the new AI initiative, similar to what Google's doing with their AI generative ads system as well. And also, they are releasing new compare and decide ads for Bing Chat, where it's specifically ad units just for the Bing Chat results. This is coming out in the next coming months or so, so that's pretty cool as well. Speaking about ads in Bing Chat specifically, I spoke with the corporate vice president of Microsoft Advertising, Kaya, and she told me that ads in Bing Chat have a 1.8% or 1.8 times increase in click-through rates than traditional search. So people are 1.8 times more likely to click on ads in Bing Chat than they are on Bing's traditional search results, which is pretty impressive. Google Bard last week came out with the ability to share conversations with your friends, and those shared URLs were starting to get indexed by Google and other search engines. We noticed this. This was spotted by Gagan Gahorta. I was probably pronouncing the name wrong. In any event, Google picked up on this after said that we don't want this to happen. So I guess the Bard team was found out, and they go ahead and they use the Robots.txt file and other meta tags to go ahead and block search engines from crawling these pages. As of last night, Google was no longer indexing those pages. They weren't showing up. I think Bing was, but I'm sure it will be out of the index fully as well soon. It was just one of those oversights that every one of us has made over the years, and so forth. Google has released a new protocol called Google Extended, a new Google bot, a Google crawler, to let you inform Google that you don't want your content to be used in Google Bard or any of Google's AI LLMs to improve their AI capabilities around your content. So you just have to use the Google Extended robots. They announced this last night. It's a new Robots file. Put on your Robots T if you don't want Google Bard to use your content or other Google AIs to use your content to improve it. It's not going to change crawling because Googlebot will crawl your website for search and for other purposes. But if you use that robots, it will tell Google to not use your content specifically for Bard and other AI projects at Google. Bing also offered a method to block Bing Chat from using your content as well, using no cache and no archive tags. It's a different method than Google used. Google is using a special Google crawler user agent, whereas Bing is using different tags. ChatGPT has launched their Browse with Bing after respecting the Robots.txt protocol. About 12 weeks ago, ChatGPT, OpenAI's things that had to pull out that Browse with Bing feature because they were showing content that was behind paywalled stuff and not respecting the Robots.txt file. Now they are respecting it, and they've relaunched it, and it should be live. Microsoft said that Bing Chat's precise mode has got a big update. It's now much more improved, and it provides better quality results. So definitely take a look at the precise mode. Bing Chat also has launched or is rolling out personalized answers for Edge only now. It doesn't work necessarily on Chrome or Firefox, but it seems to be working specifically for Bing Chat on personalized answers only for Chrome. Only for Edge, Microsoft Edge, which is a browser. It doesn't work on Chrome or Firefox. We announced this last week, but it's specifically only for Edge. Also, IndexNow is now supported by Wix, which is a major big CMS platform, so that adds a lot of new content to the IndexNow protocol and it turned on automatically. If you're using Wix, you don't have to do anything, it's automatic. And finally, it was Google's 25th birthday today, Wednesday, I believe, on the 27th, I believe. And with that, Google had their big 25th birthday celebrations, including a new Doodle and so forth. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com over the past week. Everyone have a healthy, safe, and happy weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.